Good Monday morning. I took a little break there for a bit, but despite that, I'm actually really excited to get back into it, and I hope that you're excited too. So, we're now on chapter 18 in the book of Psalms. So, this one is Praise for Deliverance. Now, this is actually a really long psalm, it's 50 verses. So, what I think we're going to do is probably split this psalm into two videos. The first one we'll go through we'll go to verse 19. So let's start in verse 1. I love you, Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress and my deliverer. My God, my rock, where I seek refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I called to the Lord, who is worthy of praise, and I was saved from my enemies. The ropes of death were wrapped around me. The torrent of destruction terrified me. The ropes of Sheol entangled me. The snares of death confronted me. I called to the Lord in my distress, and I cried to my God for help. From his temple he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. Then the earth shook and quaked. The foundations of the mountains trembled. They shook because he burned with anger. Smoke rose from his nostrils, and consuming fire came from his mouth. Coals were set ablaze by it. He bent the heavens and came down, total darkness beneath his feet. He rode on a cherub and flew, soaring on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his hiding place, dark storm clouds his canopy around him. From the radiance of his presence, his cloud swept onward with hail and blazing coals. The Lord thundered from heaven. The Most High made his voice heard. He shot his arrows and scattered them. He hurled lightning bolts and routed them. The depths of the sea became visible. The foundations of the world were exposed at your rebuke, Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He pulled me out of the deep water. He rescued me from my powerful enemy and from those who hated me, for they were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out to a spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. Now, the entirety of Psalm 18 is an awesome psalm, and just honestly, all of these psalms are awesome, but if you're a person alive on this earth, you're going to have problems. You're going to have people come against you. You're going to have circumstances that are not ideal, circumstances that honestly could be a lot better. But the reality is that what it is what it is. What is happening is what is happening, and the choices people make are the choices people make. But as we can see here, at the root of everything, we always have to go back to what is my relationship with God? What is my relationship with Jesus looking like right now? What's happening is the enemy is coming against you. And if you remember, a big foundational teaching of the New Testament is always look to Jesus for your salvation. Jesus is everything. He's your Savior. He's your deliverer. He's your provider. He's all of the above. And what can happen is you have Satan just throwing all these things in your life, and what he's trying to do is he's trying to get you to look from Jesus to what the enemy is doing. And what that's doing is he's stealing your relationship from Jesus away. He's stealing your praise, he's stealing your expectation, he's stealing your joy is kind of what he's going after. But at the same time, it's really easy to see these circumstances and just say to yourself, well, it is bad. Why do I not have a right to complain, to just look at how awful this is? And that's where this comes in, is because a lot of us have an idea of God just wants us to live a victorious life on earth, and he's just kind of chilling on the throne, letting you do it. But there's no point in the Christian walk where God is going to say to you, if you're mature enough, then you should be able to do this on your own. Rather, the reverse is true in Christianity. you're always growing more and more dependent on Jesus. You're always pursuing a path of, how can I give more of these things to you, Jesus? How can I give more of me to you? And the thing is that more of you, well, problems come with that. And the thing is that Jesus is happy to take all of that, because that's why he saved us. He saved us. He literally did everything. He was literally perfect on our behalf, and he freely gave us all these cool things. Why would he withhold himself when you actually ask him for help? The thing is that Jesus delights in a relationship. He wants to co-labor on this earth with you. And just to close all of this is, take the pressure off yourself. Remember, there's never a point where you say, I should be mature enough to do this on my own. But the reality is, we're all growing to a point of, I'm growing more and more dependent on my Lord and Savior. So with that said, if there's problems going on, if there's circumstances that aren't really alive, that if there's things coming against you, step number one, well, cry out to Jesus. Cry out to Jesus. Talk through the problem with him. And if we go back to verse 19, it says, he rescued me because he delighted in me. He delights in you. And we'll probably go more into that on the next video. So with that said, have a great have a great Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.